Governments around the world are very diverse. The United States of America prides itself on being a very well-established republic, while countries such as China, North Korea, and Russia control what its citizens see and what they can do. This includes censoring the internet and making people see what only the government wants them to see. The United States' freedom recently has been declining when it comes to freedom of speech, privacy, and expression on the internet. Personally, I am very concerned and have researched this topic greatly. The United States should not censor the internet because it interferes with various ways of life for the Americans, such as the freedom of speech, the right of privacy, and the freedom of expression. Many issues would end up occurring if the United States government was to decide that it was wanting to fully censor the internet. One of these major violations would be the freedom of speech, also known as the First Amendment. According to Elizabeth Purdy from Middle Tennessee State University's First Amendment Encyclopedia, internet censorship restricts certain aspects of media and art, and all included on the internet. This ends up limiting the views of symbolic messages in art, music, books, and even television, which is all on the internet, and if the government decided it wanted to limit it, then it could not be viewed on American soil. According to Christine Zakora-Walsk from 21st Century Books, the rights of privacy would also be violated if the American government was to censor the internet. The government would end up conducting illegal surveillance of the people here, and anything and everything they do would be monitored at all times. According to Beverly Bolaro, from the points of view internet censorship, the government would know what every individual does at all times. This would lead to the loss of many other American freedoms. One of these freedoms will be the freedom of expression, which will be completely wiped out. Freedom of expression includes things such as beliefs, messages, political ideas, and innovative design. When you censor, there is no more opposing politics, no innovation, and no desire without approval. But what can we do as the American people to stop the government from censoring the internet and what we see as Americans? Personally, we can do a few different things to prevent censorship. Since it has become a dire issue, Americans need to be fighting this topic. Signing petitions, following anti-censorship campaigns, and donating money are good ways to help make sure that the government does not overstep its freedom and violate the rights of the American people. America was built by the Founding Fathers for the idea of questioning and petitioning the government whenever situations arise where they need to be against it. Politicians, social media pioneers, and business moguls are the main supporters of those who want to censor what we see and control what in the world we believe. According to Bernadette Schnell from the Reference Handbook, Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook and Jack Dorsey of Twitter are both pro-censorship. They don't want different opinions to circulate on the internet, and according to the American Library Association, they have no power but have influence. These all became big issues in the recent election whenever they got to control what was said about each of the political candidates. Americans must take a stand against these people because no one should directly influence the change of freedom unless they're being voted upon, such as a presidential candidate, a senator, or a representative. If the Americans are to fight, the people would win. If they end up fighting, the freedoms would remain and they would manage to keep their freedom. Americans would continue to have access to all the content on the internet with no restrictions and no limitations. Content creators will have the freedom to create whatever they want and show to whoever they please. the right of privacy would also remain. The government would also not have constant surveillance of us, and we would be able to have free and unmonitored internet access whenever we want. The United States government should not be allowed to censor internet and its content. Now that you've heard the effects of internet censorship, I greatly encourage you to further educate yourself and be aware of the issues that are arising in our current political climate in the United States government. If we all take action now, this issue would become nearly non-existent in our country.